Hi there and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Allie and today I wanted to share with you a few ways that I handle clutter in my home. So coming up with creative ways to manage clutter, or I don't even like calling it clutter, right? Because this is our life. So this is our kids, this is the things that they love to do. But realistically speaking, it can get messy sometimes. So finding creative ways to deal with the clutter and to sort of hide it or make it easy to sort of tuck away if you're having guests come over is very helpful in feeling like you have a calm home, a serene home. No one really likes to walk into a space that's super messy. So being able to have things organized or structured in such a way that, again, can easily hide things, can easily have you clean a mess, whether you just need a little bit of peace and calm or whether you have someone coming over on a last minute situation, I've got you. I'm going to show you my favorite ways to hide clutter, my favorite things to look for in furniture, and my favorite little things that you can do around your home today to help hide the clutter and not make extra work for yourself. I'm going to show you some creative ways today that you can actually have your clutter hidden in plain sight so that you can access it easily when you need it, but if someone's coming over, you can tuck it away really quickly. I'll then bring you into the kitchen with me where I'm going to share with you one of my favorite summer recipes. It's really good if you need something quick. Again, if you have guests that are coming by a little bit unexpected or someone coming over on the fly, you can quickly tuck everything away into those tips that I showed you how to declutter your home, and then at the same time fix up a really fresh, delicious recipe that you can make on the fly. It's fast, it's seasonal, and it's perfect for spring and summer. If you like tips like this, videos like this, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and tick off that bell so you get notified every time I make a new video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we are going to get started in my living room, and this is our living room coffee table. You can see the coffee table that I chose. I wanted it to be aesthetically pleasing, but I also knew that I wanted it to serve double duty so that I can quickly clean up and tuck things away. I have a son who is a builder. He loves building things. So we've got everything from robots, Lego pieces, Hot Wheels tracks, you name it. I love that he has quick access to these things during the day, but at night when I want to just kind of unwind and have a really calm, soothing space, I like that I can just tuck them away underneath that coffee table. And then we have things like remotes and blankets and just things that we use, like if my husband and I watch TV at night, you know, coasters, magazines, whatever it is. I really just wanted a coffee table that could function well for me so that I did not have to make trips up and down the stairs or tuck things away into closets. I can literally just take these items and tuck them underneath this table, as you can see I'm doing right now with some books. I did link for you 2 options that I found on Amazon, and one of them I'm actually in love with. You can buy 2 of them together. They're a rectangular shape, and for a really good price, you can just push them together, and they've got shelves and things for you to hide all of your coasters and remotes and things like that. So this is a game that a friend gave me. My kids love to play it. It's got some purple in it though, and while I love that it's handmade, it doesn't actually go with, you know, my day-to-day decor, so I really like that we can use it regularly but tuck it under there. And that is a lint roller. We have 2 cats and a white couch, so I'm always using that lint roller. These are just some books that came from my husband's grandparents, and I like having sentimental pieces around the home. So again, just taking these books, straightening them up, and tucking them kind of in front of that lint roller so that if you walk around my coffee table, you don't need to see the lint roller, but books are always pleasing to the eye. So now I'm coming around the other side and I'm tucking away my son's Hot Wheels tracks and his robots. We do have a playroom upstairs that's loaded with their toys and things, but he always tends to go through cycles of what he's working on, and he likes to be downstairs where the rest of us are. So whatever he's working on at that time, I like that I can just easily slide it right under that coffee table and just have things look nice and neat. These are some coasters that my sister got for us, and we use them at night if my husband and I have a cup of tea or something. If we're watching TV, I like that I can have them easily accessible. Same with the magazines. And, you know, some people like to have magazines out on the coffee table. I do that too sometimes. But if I have other books there, it tends to start looking a little too cluttered. So it's nice to have the option, again, to just tuck them away. I've got our remotes for the TV, and we have a remote for our shades in the house. And then I also have remotes for our battery operated candles. And all those items, again, tucked away nice and neat so that I just have the aesthetically pleasing, calming items on top of the coffee table. And again, I linked a couple of options for you that can also work double duty for you when it comes to organizing and cleaning and putting away storage. So along with making good furniture selections, I also wanted to share that I like to kind of bring things together using trays. I talked about this in my last video as well, but sometimes we've got these odds and ends items that we need to use, like soap in a bathroom, and I added this decorative little vase. And if you add a tray underneath it, it actually pulls it together and makes it feel clean, less cluttered, and like it belongs there. Trays are one of my favorite ways to do this. Again, taking items that you might use on a daily basis and just putting them out for all to see, especially if you have something that's pleasing to the eye, like this tray that I got. It's Threshold. I got it at Target, and I like to just keep things that I use in my entryway there. I also have these 2 baskets underneath our console table. We do have a drop zone in our house, but it is not in the first area when you walk in. So I really like having these baskets here so that people can put their shoes there. When my kids come in and kick off their shoes, now they have a place to go. Another high traffic area is this counter when you come in from our garage, where mail tends to just get piled high, keys, everything random kind of goes there. So to create a solution, I got this little rectangular woven basket that again looks pleasing to the eye. It's got those nice white wood handles, and I'm taking that same mess of magazines and mail and I'm placing them right in that basket. I also got this metal mail organizer that looks just as nice on there as well. We have some gold accents. They have a few colors of these, however, on Amazon. I'm finishing it off with a beautiful little wooden love sign and a plant in the corner, and suddenly this corner is packed up, looks nice and neat, and doesn't give me a headache anymore. And then this is our actual drop zone. So again, I utilized some storage space by putting baskets in those top cubbies, and then I also put a basket on the bench here where my kids keep their helmets and knee pads and all that fun stuff for when they are active outside. This is on our kitchen counter. I just wanted something where I can take some food, things that we eat every day, and just kind of, again, make them part of the decor. So I have this wooden bowl with some leather handles, and again, just pulls things together in a nice, neat way. Bookshelves are also an amazing way to hide clutter. So one of the things I like to do with my bookshelves is I like to find a decorative box. You can find these at places like HomeGoods or on Amazon. I linked an option for you. But again, take pens and trinkets and other little tchotchkes and things, and you can just tuck them away in the box. I like to place a candle on top, and then now you actually have something that's functioning for you, but again, looks pleasing to the eye. Next up is one of my favorite items. I've actually had these for years. They are these hammered drum storage bins, coffee tables, really. And I got them at World Market several years ago. I linked one that I found for you on Amazon that pretty much looks like an exact replica of it. But I have used these since my first child was born, and I always had kids' toys, like baby toys in them and things like that. So now that they're a little bit older, I use the tall one for candles, and I use that big one there for storing away blankets. This is our loft space, which is right outside our playroom. And as much as we try to keep things contained to the playroom, they just always spill out over into the loft space. So again, I wanted to have something that I can very easily tuck things away and not have to see a mess when we walk out of our rooms in the morning. Just makes cleanup a heck of a lot easier when you can just take some things and put them away really, really quickly. So I'm just pulling the space together nice and easy by taking one of the blankets and putting it out on the sofa there. My daughter is into Harry Potter, so that pillowcase says, "I can't deal with muggles today." And if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know what that means. I linked it for you in the description. But I'm just adding a little candle to the top of these bins. And if you might not even know that they were storage bins if I hadn't told you, but they just look really pretty. They're functional. And now I'm taking my son's Legos and I'm just kind of working it into the decor upstairs. So I learned, being a mom now for, well, over a decade at this point, that sometimes you just have to allow their things to be a part of the decor, right? Like they live here too. It's not just my house. So I really like when I can have some of their things out and I can see on their faces that they get really proud and excited when we display things that they made or they put together. Like this is my son's. He loves making these robots. He takes like these Lego motors and puts them inside cardboard robots and gets them to move and stuff. So I figured he would get a kick out of it when he came home if I put this guy on the couch for him to keep working on him. And again, these are just the pillowcases, blankets, another one of his Star Wars Legos, and just makes for a nice cozy space that we can use a lot and has an easy cleanup. I think another big piece of it though is being okay with the mess for a little while. My house doesn't always look like this. It's important to mention that. And we have kids, so it is going to get messy sometimes. And I just have to accept that that's the stage of life that we're in, and that's okay. And now that we got some cleaning out of the way, I'm gonna head into the kitchen and show you one of my favorite spring recipes. Okay, so maybe not the best angle, but I wanted to show you guys the ingredients that I'm going to use for this fresh summer recipe. These are all grown from the tower garden, if you can believe it or not. And our tower garden is doing very well. This is just in a matter of maybe 3 days, I want to say. And look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cucumbers in about 3 days. So again, I'm going to slice these up and I'm going to mix them together with some great cherry tomatoes, some feta cheese, and then some of an olive oil dressing that I'm going to share with you that is herb infused, lemon flavor, really good, really light, and really fresh for summer. Here we go. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm just slicing the ends off of the cucumbers, and I'm going to cut each of the cucumbers lengthwise all the way down in half. And then I'm going to take those halves and cut them in the opposite direction so that I have chunks of fresh cucumbers. These cucumbers are so nice and crunchy. If you have a garden, or even if you don't have a garden and you have the ability to go to the farmer's market and pick out some fresh ingredients, it makes all the difference, I find, when I'm preparing a recipe. If I buy something from the grocery store or if I can get it somehow fresh, whether, again, that's from my own garden or the farmer's market. But these cucumbers, as I mentioned, were grown on the tower garden, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute, but we are just getting tons and tons of them, and sometimes we just snack on them as they are. But today, I really wanted to make a very springy, delicious, no-cook recipe. And this one's always a crowd pleaser because it looks beautiful and it tastes really fresh and good as well. So I'm just taking some cherry tomatoes and slicing them in half lengthwise. And I'm going to add them straight into that large bowl with the rest of the cucumbers. And then I'm going to take you outside with me so that we can have a look at the tower garden real quick. So the bottom leaves there are zucchini plants. And if you saw a couple of my last videos, you may have seen the episode where I made fried squash flowers and I stuffed them with goat cheese and dates, and they're so good. We make them all the time. So I've got some calendula up there, which is really good for attracting pollinators. I've got fresh basil. These leaves right here and those small little yellow flowers are the cucumbers. So it's really active right now. As you can see, my plant is going crazy. It's wrapping around the cage of the tower garden, and we've got little tomatoes that are coming as well. But up top, I have all of this fresh dill. And dill is one of my favorite herbs to use in the summer because it's got such a delicious, mild, seasonal flavor. And it really is versatile. You can add dill to pretty much anything, yogurt sauce or in a salad, and in this case, a dressing. And then I've got some fresh oregano that I'm also taking from these pots that I have outside, and some fresh thyme as well. And I'm just gonna bring these herbs inside and chop them up, and I'm gonna add them to the dressing that I'm making that's gonna go on top of that cucumber feta tomato salad, which is already looking beautiful. So now that I've got the dill pretty much off of these stems, you can take stems of thyme and oregano and you can do what I'm doing here to get the leaves off really quickly. So all you do is you hold one end of the stem and with one hand, and then you take your other hand and you sort of like squeeze and strip down the stem, and that will easily take the leaves right off of that stem. The trick is to go in the opposite direction of how the leaves are growing so that they come off nice and easily. And then I'm just chopping this up, getting these herbs chopped nice and small. And I wish you could smell what it smells like, because when you chop fresh herbs like this, they smell absolutely delicious. And again, just so springy and summery, really fresh and delicious. So now that I have my herbs all chopped, I'm taking this mason jar and I'm gonna add some olive oil to it, about maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of the way up, just filling that with some olive oil. And then I'm just doing a basic dressing here. This is one of my favorites, my go-to dressings. I'm just going to slice up some lemons, and I don't use any fancy tools for it. I find that my hands work best when it comes to squeezing the juice out, and I just use my other hand to catch any seeds that might fall out of the lemon, or maybe some extra large pieces of pulp. But hands work great for it. And you just squeeze all that lemon juice into the olive oil. And now you add in the fresh herbs to the mix. And then next up, you're going to add in a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Sometimes I add Dijon mustard to my dressing. Sometimes I'll add apple cider vinegar. It depends. But today I was just going for, again, just something like really simple and fresh. I pretty much always add garlic to my dressings. So I'm going to just press 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to use the knife to just scrape it off of the garlic press and just get that right into the jar. And then put a lid on it. These are lids with spouts. I got them on Amazon and I'll link them for you in case you're interested in those. But they're just make it so much easier to store things like dressings and then pour them out again really easily. So next up is some feta cheese. And I'm going to use, since this is a pretty big salad, I'm going to use 2 blocks of feta cheese. So I'm just lining them up. I'm going to first cut them lengthwise into about 1/2-inch sections. And then I'm going to go the other way so that I get little squares. So like 1/2-inch size squares. Definitely don't worry about being too precise about any of this. Play around with it. It's really just whatever you like and however it looks best to you. You can even use crumbled feta if you don't want to deal with chopping these, but I personally like to have the feta squares just because I like how it looks in the salad. So now I'm going to give an extra shake to that dressing, and I'm just going to pour that dressing over the salad, and I'm careful to leave about 1/4 of dressing left in the jar, as you can see. And the reason why I do that is because I'm going to actually have some today, so I'm going to toss all this around. But if I have more, or if I'm going to be serving this at a barbecue, or if I have guests coming over, I save a little bit of that dressing because it freshens it up when you add it just over the top again. Because the vegetables and the cheese tend to absorb that dressing, I like to, again, place it over the top of it, and it just kind of refreshes the salad when you're ready to serve it. So I'm just adding this to my plate, and this is going to be part of my lunch for today. And it's, again, one of my favorite things. I love that it's fresh, so grab those fresh cucumbers and tomatoes from the farmer's market or from your garden and enjoy this really delicious summer salad. So that's it for today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And again, if you like videos like this, definitely hit subscribe and make sure you tick off that bell so that you get notified every time I release a new video. That helps YouTube know the kind of videos you like, but it also really helps my channel. And if you found these tips helpful, leave me a comment or drop me a thumbs up. Let me know what you liked best. And I'll see you next time. Take care.